¿Por qué aventó el nivel ahí al agua?
¿Yo?
Pues ahorita me dijo Benjamín. No se crea, no me dijo nada. Ahí está. So here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna waterproof the footing and then the wall, and then everywhere where there is rebar, he's gonna fill in all these cells. And right now, what he's doing, he's putting this wire. So this is a horizontal wire. So the way you build these walls is you have your footing. You have your footing level and straight, and then you notice he had to do all these cuts at the very bottom right here. So he had to make all those cuts so the next course of blocks is as straight as it can be. And then he's going with 2 courses, and he's using it's called a ladder wire for blocks. So here we have the copper wire coming out of the rebar from the pool, and then this one goes to the pool equipment, and the other one goes to the waterfall over there. Here we're now leaving this like this. This has to have a clamp. This is especially for this. This is not the appropriate way to do it. So over here is where I was saying that we need to waterproof the footing and the wall from inside to do this like a bottom and a wall, so whenever we get moisture over here, it doesn't seep through the joint between the block and the footing. And then we're gonna do that. We're gonna backfill with crushed gravel, and then we're gonna put our 4-inch French drain to go from here all the way there. And that is just gonna go probably L shape. So somewhere over here we can start it, put a 90-degree elbow, and then send it that way. It doesn't have to be too complicated. Here's how this waterfall is going to be at. So we have 3 of 2 feet wide water shears. The way these ones come in, they have this rock trap, so it has like a screen in the center. So if you have debris that is too large and it may clog the outlet, it hits the grid and then it goes down into this trap. So we're gonna have one right there, another one over here, and another one over there. So plenty of water noise, and that's the reason for these 3 waterfalls is that we only have one skimmer over there, because we have the spa over there with the infinity edge, and then this is just gonna push the water that way, so everything is gonna collect on that corner. It's gonna be really hard for debris, leaves or whatever to collect like in these corners where you see that there is nothing. You know, we have boulders over there. We have 1, 2, 3. We also have those 2 boulders over there, so there's gonna be a lot of water disturbance when everything is going on. Now ideally, the way I would like to have this running is filtering 24/7 at a low speed, and then this can be running like maybe 6 hours or some 5 hours or something like that, so that way the water pushes the debris, and then you turn on the bubblers just whenever you want to. Whenever you're out here and you want to have the full show going, it's when I suggest for this to just have the bubblers going, and then the same with the spa. So what we did is, since this is a negative infinity edge, we have that pipe over there is a floor return, so it's gonna return water from the bottom, so everything just, the water raises up and it doesn't create any waves, so everything just falls around like a mirror, so you don't have like suddenly a splash of water from that water being pushed from the four sides. So it's just gonna come up, and then those are just gonna work whenever we want to do the therapy jets and all that, or if they want to get in there and they want to use it with the heater, then we can have those working to recirculate the water in there, so there's more water flow. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Ahí le traje los coupling, a ver si no me faltó uno.
No, porque son que dos, ¿no?
¿Dos qué? ¿Son tres puentes? Ahí está ya la primera, le falta esta.
Aquí va la de dos.
Ajá.
De dos. Y luego esta también es de dos, ¿verdad?
Va el primer 90 de 2, 90 de 2, una T de 2, 90 de 2, 90 de 2.
Y estas son de medio.
Y estas son reductores.
Reductores.
Sí, nada más que la regué yo, ya ahorita que me fijé ahí, porque me traje reductores, pero entonces la T no van a entrar en la T de 1,5. Necesitamos un coupling para reducirlo. So the guys already installed the water features over here. I'm gonna show. Since we have these three features in one single pipe, we gotta do all this piping, so that way the water flow and pressure it's equalized, and that way we don't have one of these waterfalls throwing more water than another one. Everything should be at the same rate, the same pressure. And over here we have the walls. ¿Qué pasó, Julio? Ahí está. And over here what Franklin is doing, he's squaring up the spa. Because it's not 100% straight, so in order for it to be a perfect square, he has to build up one side of the wall, and the other one is pretty thin, similar to what Mark did at the other house. And Mark is not gonna be able to do this pool because we have a pretty tight timeline. I had a deal with the homeowners, and they asked me if we can finish around a certain date, and I commit to that. And in order for us to do the pool deck over there, which is gonna wrap around and be a sidewalk over here, we gotta have the coping. So it's gonna be, if Mark comes over here to do it, he's not gonna be able to be here until next week, and then he's gonna start with the tile, and then it's gonna be another week or so. And if we have rain or something else, then we're gonna keep pushing it back. So at least, you know, this is a simpler job. The tile is bigger, so it's a lot easier to work with and faster. This is our water line tile, so it's gonna go like this all the way inside, and this is our coping right here, so it's gonna move faster because it's large pieces. This is our coping over here. It's silver travertine, and so that's gonna go all the way around. And then the black tile It's gonna go on our water line, and then it's gonna wrap this waterfall fire feature, and the same black tile but in a larger format is gonna wrap all the spa on the 360 area. So he's probably gonna start on the coping tomorrow. So what the guys are gonna do today, they're gonna spray the intercept, which is the colloidal silica. They're gonna spray that today, and once it dries out, they're gonna base crete all this top so they can do the coping tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I'm pretty sure they're gonna move pretty fast with the coping, and then right after the coping is on, they're gonna do the tile inside. So we're using those 16 by 24 pieces of travertine. Yeah, they're in here, silver travertine. But like in this corner, what we need to do is we're gonna bring it, and then there's gonna be a 45 cut right here, and the piece going that way, it's not gonna reach all the way across the skimmer. So we put a aluminum plate, so that way we can have a joint in the center without the risk of having the stone collapsing or breaking down or caving in there. It's something well and sturdy. And right now what the guys are doing is they're prepping for starting the coping.
Entonces, ¿qué se llevó que era?
Se llevó el compresor chiquito azul de aire, pero no le pasó eso con todo el polvo que se levantó. Sí, con todo el polvo que se levantó. A ver, explícale a la cámara qué está haciendo, Julio.
Aquí me ando haciendo un poquillo
Se anda haciendo guaje. ¿Cómo le ha dado uso a esa sierrita, verdad?
Sí, está muy bueno.
Está muy bueno el lucito ese.
Fue la única que pegó y se la quitó.
Aquí.
¿Qué agarró de maestras? Unos metales. Ya se los encontró allá en la casa. Unas varillas, son de media, sí está muy gruesa, media. Media. Ok. 10.
4, serían 9 pulgadas
Con 3.
¿Con qué? 1 pulgada y 3/4.
Más o menos. Por eso yo decía 9 pulgadas y menos de 2 pulgadas, dividido entre las 5 piezas que son, más o menos son como 1 pulgada y casi las 2 pulgadas. Casi las 2 pulgadas.
Quitarle a la pieza.
A cada una. A cada una le quitas casi 2 pulgadas y te van a entrar 5 piezas.
Okay. ¿Ya descontándole los separadores o sin descontarlos?
Sin descontar los separadores. ¿Cuánto mide el separador? ¿Es de 3/8? ¿O de 1/8?
No, creo que no llega ni a los 1/8. Yo creo que las 3
Ahí
hace...
en la bolsita dice, ¿no? Pues me hace que es de 1/8. Ahí está, 1/8. Entonces, Si metes 5 piezas, son 6 separadores. Entonces son un 8 por 6,
3/4.
son 3/4. Más 5 piezas de 2 pies, son 10 pies. Entonces tenemos 10 pies y 3/4, menos 9 pies y 2 pulgadas con media. Esto es lo que nos toma esto es lo que queda de extra, 10 pulgadas y un cuarto. Como tiene 5 piezas, lo dividimos entre 5. 2 pulgadas, un 16. Hay que quitarle a cada uno.
Ok.
2 pulgadas, un 16.
2 pulgadas, un 16. We have our waterproofing for the planter beds. So this is like a rubberized membrane. So this is kind of like what you put on the foundations or basement, stuff like that, because we're gonna backfill all this. So we're gonna backfill all this area, and then what we want to do is what I tell the guys all the time is to do the wall and also do the bottom of the footing or the top of the footing, so that way we don't have a seam where moisture can go in there. We're gonna put a 4-inch French drain over here, all the way from here all the way out, and then we're gonna start backfilling with our gravel and then the landscaping fabric and then some of this on top, and then we're gonna put some black soil on top of this. The guy's already done with the coping. We have our silver travertine over here with the bullnose. So these are 16 by 24 pieces, and here we have a bullnose on this side. We use the silver grout, and they did it all the way around. I think they still need to grout these are yes, so they still need to grout here this corner. A quick detail that we didn't show on the last pool is because Mark was able to center one of these pieces on top of the skimmer throat. So what's gonna happen here is, you see we have this piece kind of like halfway because we have this 45. So what you got to use is an aluminum plate. You can see it right here. So this aluminum plate holds the weight of the 2 pieces as a bridge. And then what we're gonna do is when we tile, either we have to tile this section over here, or we're gonna have to address it with some of the thin set or something, so you don't see this plate like this. Here we have the spa. So I think I had mentioned this before, where we have these covers right here. So this sits on top of this, and then your plaster comes up to here, and then you have these covers that go on top, and this you fill in with the plaster finish that you're gonna do. Like always, you know, one of those things. We're gonna have to work on this light because it doesn't seem like it's square, and this should be right on top, but I mean, not a big deal. I'm more concerned about the alignment of this. What else do we have over here? So the same way those drainage covers are, we're gonna do the same thing for those 2 that you see right there on the wall. Those are the ones that suction the water for the waterfall, and then these 2 over here as well. We're gonna do it for those 2, so we still have to add 4 more. I think here something that the guys did is they waterproof the inside of this. The reason why is because we're gonna have a piece of granite on top of this, and then there's gonna be a slit for the fire feature to light up through it. But in the case we have rain or heavy rains or whatever, and we have water going in here, the last thing that I want is to have a moisture intrusion between the gunite and the cinder blocks. That way there is no water coming through that joint right there. That's the reason why they waterproof all around here. And then we have our gas right here for the gas fire feature. We have our electrical conduit for the low voltage valve, and we also have our copper bonding wire right here that we need to have for all the electronics. And here is the copper wire that later on we're gonna attach it to our concrete rebar grid. We gotta do it. For that, the homeowner has secured me, has told me that we're gonna put a sauna right here. So since we already have all of this work done and our pool equipment pad is all the way there, what we're gonna have to do is behind this wall on top of the drainage at a specific code compliance depth from the top surface, we're gonna bring a conduit for our connection to the sauna, and we're gonna run it through here, and we're gonna come out through this wall, and we're gonna put it either here or here, so that way they're not gonna be able to see it and they can just plug in the sauna. Here, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we have this different coping right here. So what we're gonna do is right there in between those two lines, we're gonna do steps to the back, and those are gonna be our footprints. So we don't have just concrete steps, we actually have something that matches the bull nose of the coping, but also it's a different color. That's the reason why we have different colors here. That's pretty much it over here. The guys have been pretty busy, like I say, working behind this wall. You can see kind of like the mess that this like a tar looking thing does. And then here you have the horizontal wire that we have one here. I think there is another one halfway below halfway somewhere in there. So I'm really excited about this one. I'm excited about all of them, but you know, but this is one that we already have the design for the home builder as a spec home, and we didn't change anything to the design except for the sauna that is gonna sit there, and also the homeowner wants a type of cover because the sun on the afternoon when you are in the summertime is gonna be pretty harsh over here. So besides that, that's the reason why I say I'm really excited, because the whole design was what they like it, and they say we like what we see, we want to get that. So that's the reason why I say I'm excited, but I'm excited about all of them.